Good morning. I hope you can hear me because I know it's been hard to hear back there a little bit. But my name's Cathy Conley, and this is Stephanie Miller, and we co-teach in the English Language Arts Department at Knott County Central. And our project, it's actually a Transition Innovation Grant, and I will tell you I'm not new to this grant business, but I'm new to the TIG grants. So I'm just getting my feet wet with this, but our project is called Puppet Pals for Patriots in the Pod. And yeah, it's a lot of P's and a lot of alliteration going on there. You just got that in there. But what we actually did is we fused the two ideas together. And I'll tell you a little bit about one idea, and she can tell you about the other, and then we're just going to kind of show you some of our manipulatives that we use with the kids. But anyhow, I wrote this idea, and I said, you know, sometimes, like we have ninth grade, and ninth grade comes in and they are kind of reluctant sometimes to show what they know. They are very kind of standoffish, especially, you know, in larger groups. So I decided, or I thought, how could I get them engaged without getting them engaged, if that makes sense. So I came up with this idea, and I thought when I was little, one of the things I loved to learn with was puppets. I loved puppets. Puppets were, you know, and you pull out a puppet and everybody, no matter what age they are, they're like, it's a puppet. So I said, if little kids can learn from puppets, big kids can teach with puppets. So I put together this idea that we needed some puppets at Knott County Central for our Patriots. And I got an idea that we needed all kinds of puppets, like multicultural, different ages, jobs, careers that they may be interested in. So we have 32 puppets at Knott County Central, so that's as big as our largest class. So every person can have one if they choose. And so with that, I also got some technology. And so I'm going to let Miss Miller, if you don't mind, you can chime in about puppets and tell about our Patriots in the Pod part.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. The Patriot in the Pod allows the students who necessarily didn't actually want to vocalize with a puppet to the class to work individually in another room on the pod, and they take information, whether it's from our class, they kind of collaborate to get together ideas, whether it's from another cross-curriculum subject area, and they work with the technology to create a pod, and that's kind of a popular idea right now is podcast. And so the students working together, and we teach collaboratively, so there are students who usually struggle, but because they are choosing the curriculum topics and ideas, and they're pulling the information together with strong students and then students who work better with their hands-on, they're creating those podcasts, working with the technology, and there's kind of a fight to be the one to get to work on the project. And students who are reluctant to participate have come to us, and they're interested in staying after school to work on the podcast in case there was difficulty working it in on the curriculum. And so we've seen great interest in the pod section of it as well as the puppets.
And also with this grant, I was able to purchase lots of extra technology. And one of the best things that I have done, the kids say you don't even need it, but too bad I got it. A wireless speaker with a microphone, wireless mic. So when we're having class discussion, instead of kids raising their hand and getting maybe picked on, I sort of conduct it like a talk show, and we go around and we interview kids, whether they have their hand up or not, and they are loving the idea of being able to communicate through a larger sound thing. And we also bought 25 sets of noise canceling headphones. We bought 6 podcasts, so we kind of have 6 little miniature radio stations that we can have going around in our school. And we also bought the lapel mics, and what else did we get? We
The colored printer?
color printers in order to do things to enhance, like, you guys created that awesome brochure. Yep, we'll be doing that hopefully with their color printer. But anyway, if you don't mind, we're just going to show you a couple. Not that it's like a big deal, but we brought them along, and as you can see, they're very they're animated. They can be as animated as possible, or they can just be bystanders. Just listening. As a kid, and we have one particular student, and she just cannot wait to get into our class every day to get her hands on the puppet. She does, and it helps her control, because she used to like to come in and get her hands on everything else. And now she goes with the puppets. We have some that are T-Rexes. We have 2 T-Rex heads, and that's her favorite. And she is really involved with, she may pretend like she doesn't hear, but she'll say, well, he heard it, and here's what he thinks. And that was the whole idea. If one kid did it, I was going to act foolish in front of a bunch of people. I don't care. But we're just getting our feet wet. We have no idea where this is going to go or anything, but our problem of practice actually was, will this increase communication skills at Knott County Central? Okay, so, all right, do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? Yes.